How's it going, everyone? Just here in the park, just chilling. Thought I'd make another video about the narcissist. Narcissists, when they come into your life, it's like they're acting all kind or nice or empathetic or loving. You know, they're basically pretending to be this loving, kind, empathic, person that's got their best interest in their heart for you. They want to spend all their time with you. When they target you in the beginning and they're wearing a mask, they're pretending to be this person that they're not. But of course, you don't know that in the beginning. You don't realize that this person's just mirroring all your virtues and qualities and things back to you. They're just pretending to be this loving, kind person, that shares all these similar qualities with you, but they're the opposite of you. It's like they've got this agenda to just get you tricked and trapped and stuck in this trauma bond, and to put you in this like fog. And in the beginning, it's all going to be peaches and cream, it's all going to be rainbows and puppy dogs, it's all going to be lovely and everything, and everything's going to be moving at light speed, because they want to get you tricked and trapped and get you stuck in that fog, where you can't see the truth, where you don't have clarity, where you don't have peace of mind or anything like that. And they just slowly take away your self-efficacy, your self-agency, and your autonomy. Like, you take away all your freedom, your peace of mind, and your clarity, and have them like they want to have the person just like stuck in this fantasy world with them, because they're delusional, they live in a fantasy, and that they want to make sure that you're stuck in that fantasy with them, because it protects them, their fantasy world. And they feel that if they can get their claws into you, and once they know that they've got their hooks into you, they know that you're emotionally trapped in that trauma bond with them, that's when all the fake love, all the fake attention, all the fake validation, all this sort of stuff is just going to disappear. It's going to be the love bombing all in the beginning, but they'll just take that all away all of a sudden, and then give you the mini discards and things like that, where they're disappearing out of your life and then coming back into your life, and like giving you the hot and the cold, and they're pushing you away and bringing you back in, and it's just like this roller coaster effect that's just reinforcing the trauma bond. and so it just throws your nervous system all over the place, and this person's not giving you any clarity. They're not sitting down with you wanting to have a discussion about things. They just want to send you all over the place, emotionally and psychologically, and have you all confused and hurt, and oh, things are good again. And you're just trying to get back. You're just trying to get back to the way things were in the beginning, when everything was all peaches and cream. But it's like that was just a mask. There's this person wearing a mask, pretending to be this kind, loving, empathic person, but really they're envious. They have this malicious envy, and they basically want to take everything from you, because they don't have it. They don't have love, empathy. They don't care about what you care about. It's just that they're just pretending in the beginning, just so they can get you trapped, get you emotionally hooked, so they can extract all your resources from you, take all your money, your time, your energy, your resources, take away your clarity, your self-efficacy, agency, everything from you. But it's it's slowly, it's insidiously, they'll come into your life and slowly take it away. It's not all in one go. It's sort of drip feed sort of thing. But it's they're just taking everything. It's just take, and they're not giving you anything. It's just that fake, they're just giving this fake love, fake attention. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and then it's terrible. Then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's just insane. But they've got this envy, and this rivalry with you, and it's like they're always in competition with you. They was like, because they know that you've got real love. They know that you've got real empathy, and you're kind, and like you're forgiving, and you're caring, and you're considerate, and everything of their feelings, and you want to work things out. Like a loving, kind, compassionate person that's you think you're in this reciprocal relationship, when really it's it's your enemy. It's like someone that's just wanting to take everything away from you. But they're in this fantasy, and they want to like bring you into this fantasy and take away your clarity and everything, so they can control you. Like, they've got insatiable needs for power and control, and it's like they'll torture you. Like, they'll have you walking on eggshells, feeling like you can't explain yourself, you can't like be open and let's discuss this, like healthy people, like what's going on here. They don't want to hear anything like that. They just want to continue extracting everything from you and just giving you this hot and cold treatment, where you can never get your feet on the ground. You never feel stable. You never feel like this person's really got your back. But somehow you just keep sweeping the red flags and the things that you're seeing along the way. You keep sweeping those things under the rug, and saying, oh, like things will get better, things are going to improve. This person really does want to see the best outcome or whatever like that. You're just making up these things in your mind, and things just get deeper and deeper, and you just fall deeper and deeper into their trap, and they don't want to see you have your way, or they don't want to understand your side of things. They don't want to come to any resolutions and things like that. It's just they just want to use you to do all these duties, have you running around on on this hamster wheel, like doing all these duties, like cleaning, vacuuming, washing the dishes, like taking them around on trips, keeping them busy, keeping them occupied, and doing all these duties for them. But all the while they're like abusing you verbally, like spiritually, emotionally, financially, like in every way, like squirreling their money away, tucking their money away while they're like saving up their own money, but using you for like, take them out for like lunches, dinners, like all these trips, taking them here, taking them there. You're just basically paying for everything, and all the while they're like parasites, so they're just feeding off your energy. So there's like this energetic exchange where they're just giving you nothing but like trauma and abuse, and like all this darkness, all this hatred and envy, being malicious towards you, and like projecting all this stuff onto you, like all this hatred. And you're trying to work things out. It's just like light and dark, it's like chalk and cheese sort of thing. Like, so you're trying to work things out, but they're just like, they're on the other side. They're trying to like destroy you. They're trying to like take everything away from you and like ruin your life, and like blaming you for everything, and like guilting you for everything. At every turn, it's like you can never come to sort of some agreement. And when they do start to act like, oh, everything's not so bad, you start to think that this person's like seeing your way, then they'll just like flip it around. Like you just never got your feet on the ground. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. Like you're thinking everything's good, then everything's bad, everything's good, everything's now worse, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And then there's just like this intermittent reinforcement where they're just breadcrumbing you along, and things might be good for a day or a weekend, and there's no abuse, but then they'll just take that away. So it's just like and they'll future fake you about the future, tell you that, oh yeah, we're gonna build a business, or we're gonna like buy a house, or we're gonna go on a vacation, or we're gonna do all this stuff in the future, but they're just dangling the carrot, you know, in front of you, all the while giving the hot and cold, and then this breadcrumbing you along, this hot and cold treatment. So you stick in there, you're thinking like things aren't always bad, sometimes things are good, and you know they will come around and everything will work out. But you just fall deeper into the rabbit hole of this trauma bond, getting addicted to your abuser, and you know they don't care because they don't have real love, they don't have real empathy, you know, they don't have any of these, you know, qualities, virtues, things that you have. They don't care about the things that you care about. They're just, you know, just getting you trapped into a trauma bond, and so they can go off and they'll, you know, go off with another supply, because that's just how they see people. It's just like supply, like what can you offer them? You know, it's like, you know, have you got money? Have you got like resources? You know, like have you got cars? You know, house? Have you got like a business? Have you got all this sort of stuff? It's like what you've got, not like who you are. Like, but at the same time, they want to like extract all this stuff from you, like take away your identity, you know, take away, you know, basically dump all their trauma, dump all their darkness, all their hatred, all their envy, jealousy, rage, everything. They'll rage on you, you know, like, and everything like that. And it's just to empty you out, to shell you out, you know, to make you feel like you've done something wrong, to make you feel like, you know, you should be guilty of this and this and that. And it's like nothing you've done wrong. It's like nothing at all. It's just everything, all this darkness, all this hatred, all this, you know, malicious envy and everything is coming from them. And they're just using you like a puppet, like stringing you along, you know, just using you for what you've got. And it's just all abuse. It's just this person can't, you know, they can't give you what they don't have. And all they have is just this rage, hate, you know, envy. And they just got this, you know, this rivalry with you. And yeah, you know, they never like improve. They never like, you know, get better. It's always like worse and worse and worse. There's just nothing you can tell them. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just like they're in this cycle. You know, they're in this cycle of abuse, and they're just like wanting to get other people trapped in that same cycle with them. But they can't extract themselves from it, and no one can take them out of it or make them see, you know, the error of their way. Like, you know, they don't, you know, they see themselves as, you know, superior and you know, all knowing, and like, you know, they don't make mistakes, and like they're perfect, and you know, everyone else is to blame and everything like that. But like deep down, they've got a inferiority complex. Like they feel inferior, you know, to everyone else. So, you know, that's, you know, that's the reason that they have to like destroy people, or they feel like they have to destroy people's lives and take them down and take what they've got, because they feel inferior and they're envious of people. And so they think, you know, this is how they do it, by wearing a mask, you know, by pretending to be, you know, a loving, kind, empathic person, and, you know, being all pretentious and false and everything, and like, but just pretending to be this person that they're not, because they're like the opposite of that. They, you know, like I said, they don't have love, they don't have empathy, you know, and it's just all used just to weaponize against people, to just exploit others. And yeah, you never have peace in the relationship. There's never like, you know, they never understand you, and if they do, it's just like more lies. It's just like giving you false hope, you know. But in the beginning, they'll give you this false impression and stuff like that, and they'll want to rush into your life, you know, but it's all just to get you stuck, get you trapped. And yeah, they're always on the hunt for like other suppliers. They're predators and they're parasites. They just feed off other people. They don't care about other people. They don't have like, you know, they don't see things how we see things. We don't, you know, they don't feel the way that we feel about things, like about other people and relationships and that. Like, to them, it's not even about a relationship. They just use that as a, you know, they just use that idea of like, oh yeah, this is a relationship. I want to be, you know, together with this person and like build something up. But they're not about building up anything, you know. I mean, the only thing they're about building up is themselves. You know, themselves. It's just like stealing from other people, and, you know, targeting other people to just steal all their resources and that, and basically dump their trauma, use them as like a human punching bag, like an emotional punching bag, you know, someone that they can just like, you know, unload all their traumas onto, and then just steal their light, steal their energy, steal everything from them, their identity, you know, their personality, their everything, so they can like exploit other people. But they're in a world of their own. Like, they're delusional, and, you know, they'll use all these tactics like, you know, brainwashing people, making them feel guilty, you know, guilt tripping them, you know, shifting the blame onto them, you know, and nothing's ever good enough. Like, they can never be satisfied. They can never be like happy, you know. They're always miserable. They're always like angry, upset. They're always like, there's just never, you know, you can never really have any peace around these people. It's just, you always feel like, you know, you're always on edge, you know, and it's just, you feel like you can't be yourself. You can't be yourself. You can't, like, you know, because everything that you say to them is just like, they're going to twist it around. They're going to twist it around and like throw it back onto you somehow. Like, it could be even the most innocent thing that you're talking about, but they'll still find a way to like twist it around and either like make you feel bad or guilt you for something or something like that. But it's all, they're always like, you know, it's like torturing you, you know, like slowly like stabbing you with like their words. And like, they'll have rage fits, like if they don't get their own way, because they're like, they've got like they've got a, like, I just lost my train of thought there, but like they're basically stuck in childhood. Like, they're like toddlers, so they'll rage out when they don't, you know, something doesn't go their way, because they've got like arrested development. It's other, you know, also known as like developmental delay. You know, they had like a maturation crisis. Like, you know, when they were younger, they got stuck, you know, suffered the abuse and trauma and everything like that, and they just got stuck, and they never individuated, separated from their parents or from their mother, and now they're just looking to do that through, you know, the person that they get entangled with, you know, the person that they're looking to sort of separate from them, because they see that the intimate partner is like a mother figure. So yeah, they take out their, you know, their trauma, they take out the abuse, you know, all these forms of abuse on their partners, and they're looking to like separate, individuate, but they can never do that. They're just stuck in this cycle. It's, you know, they're just looking to get other people, you know, stuck in it as well. But yeah, we're the ones with the light, we're the ones with the joy, the happiness, the freedom, the peace, the kindness, the understanding, the intelligence, the beauty, the everything, all the good qualities, and they just mirrored that back. You know, they don't have any of that. you know, and that's why they're so, you know, they're envious, and you know, it's like they can't sleep, they can't rest, they have to, like, you know, destroy, you know, these, you know, the objects of envy. You know, we're like the objects of envy to them, like they're just looking, you know, to just destroy people's lives, and they get a kick out of that. They enjoy, like, abusing people, like, you know, running people down, torturing people, you know, making them see, you know, have them being in agony and things like that, and emotionally wounded, and, you know, in pain and everything like that, because they're hurt, and, you know, it's like they're saying, like, hurt people, and that's just how they are. They just want to, like, you know, get people trapped and unload their trauma onto people, you know, and they can never see, you know, they can never truly be happy. They can never really be, you know, truly successful or anything like that, because, like I said, like, they're stuck in a loop, and they just keep on repeating the same thing over and over again, and never taking accountability, never seeing it, that anything that they're doing is anything wrong. Well, you know, that they can't grow, you know, and this is why they don't learn from their mistakes. They don't grow, they don't, you know, improve and things like that. And you can never, like, you know, tell them anything different, because they'll just have a rage fit, or they'll, like, deflect it and project it back onto you, and, like, so it's really like, all you can do is just go no contact, and, like, just get away from these people, and, you know, just block them, you know, and delete them, and just get them out of your life, because they're just parasites. They're not doing anything for you. They're not benefiting you in any way. It's all an illusion. It's just, they're just bringing you into this illusion of a relationship, an illusion that this person, like, loves you or cares for you, an illusion that, you know, they want the best for you, or they want to build up a relationship. It's never like that with a narcissist. It's just, this person just wanted to trick and trap you and keep you as a supply, dump all their trauma into you, and, like, take away your light, take away your energy, take away your resources and everything, you know, and your identity, and you know, personality traits or whatever, like, things that they can use just to stick onto their mask to exploit other people, and, you know, continue on doing the same thing, and they just never learn or grow or take accountability, and that's just how they live. And I mean, they're not even really living, they're just existing, you know. But yeah, that's just how they are. But anyway, just wanted to talk about the narcissists, and this is what they do. I'm just going to continue on, just walking, having a peaceful walk in the park. It's a beautiful park. It's got a big tower over there, but I don't know if I'll climb up to the top today. But much peace and love. Hope everyone's doing well. You know, look after yourself. Keep shining. Keep winning. Keep grinning. You know, get out and about. You know, amongst the, you know, the water, the animals, the trees, the nature, and things like that. Like, you know, this is just, it's so healing just doing these sorts of things, getting out and about, like, you know. So yeah, definitely get out and do things like that, you know, or be creative. I've been creative lately, you know, painting pictures, you know, writing songs for my new album, and that's been awesome, you know. So yeah, you know, peace and love to everyone out there. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. You know, I'll catch you next time. Peace.